yeah.
So I don't know how we're gonna talk about this without.
Well, let's start with your slides, Ruth.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about your slides.
If I could just ask a naive question.
Yes.
So next week at the next Monday meeting,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be given the opportunity to make a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the purpose of, what would be the goal of the presentation?
The goal of the presentation to have the commissioners say, yes, we're going to give you $40,000 for the energy.
There are 7 commissioners,
Yes.
We just need 4.
and we just need
No, we've
4.
got 3.
Do we realistically think the decision made by those who might be considering to vote yes will be made? So I'm asking questions with a purpose, and I'm just trying to make sure that we're realistic in using our energy efficiently, or not our renewable
Right.
energy, but our bodily energy. I'm going to be cynical. I mean, do we think that the people already know how they're going to vote? Do we think the commissioners already are
No.
going to vote a certain way?
And I know that money is tight.
Okay. So I did fast forward through I was not able to attend, but I fast forwarded through the YouTube. And not that I think it's a different or unworthy project, but one thing jumped at me, like the Garrett Hill project, the Gateway, right?
Mhm.
Several $100,000, and I forget what the amount that was quoted for doing the engineering, the planning for that.
20,000.
$20,000. So $20,000 to come up with a plan to figure out how to manage stormwater in, I don't know what the acreage is, 1% of the total township acreage. So that's $20,000 to manage stormwater in one region. We're talking about $40,000 to manage energy use for the entire township for public math, 2020 to 2050 for 30 years.
But this is just the planning phase, so the next
Exactly,
phase will
and
take more money.
20,000 for the Garrett Hill entryway is just the planning phase.
Right.
My point is, to put it into context, Board of Commissioners, this is entirely, if you compare order of magnitude of what we're asking to spend and the number of people that'll be affected and the duration of time that they'll be affected, the request is not unreasonable.
And this benefits every resident.
And it benefits, and and the reason I bring it up, I'm in favor of the Garrett Hill thing, and I don't mean to demean what they're asking for. But in terms of what this committee is asking for, $40,000 to come up with a complex plan, because the number of energy users in the township are varied, and the business district, a lot of them use energy, they probably are tenants, they don't own the building, they're just paying a utility bill to their landlord to run a restaurant there. And so they're gonna have a different mindset and return on investment than a homeowner that is considering living there for 20, 30 years, right, in their home. So it's a complex thing, and I think asking for $40,000 to come up with a 30-year plan, when you put it against other benchmark requests for expenses, is not unreasonable.
Gee, are you going to be at the meeting on Monday night?
Speech. I know you've got Monday night class, but
I think that, having viewed some of the videos, I think that there are some that we can reach on the spot. I think that there are, some Board of Commissioners. And I think there are other Board of Commissioners that that already are confident in how they're going to vote.
but we probably have 3 votes. We just need another. I love your I love that,
I think
but I
that's-
wouldn't single out the Garrett Hill. I wouldn't even talk about Garrett Hill.
No, of course.
Just.
I'm not even saying that we necessarily bring it up there.
And Mark,
At a minimum, within us, I'm trying to say that part of the argument is to benchmark what we're asking for. It's all cost benefit.
Yeah.
Right.
and it benefits.
And the cost that you're spending, $40,000, for a plan for the next 30 years.
Yeah,
Right.
benefiting the
Nothing
whole
compared to
township.
Benefiting
Well,
everyone.
it'll save money too. I mean,
Yes.
it'll save the
Yeah.
township money also.
Guys, I think what Mark is talking about is a big picture slide. And it's going to be realistic. It's showing the big overall intention of this project, not just the planning with PES,
Right.
but the execution, implementation of the plan.
Mhm.
And we'll have to be realistic, and we'll say downstream there'll be RFPs, or whatever the proper word is. But there will be return on investment in many cases.
Well, I think we have to.
And we should come up with examples of that. Right away is what PICO did for the municipal
Well,
buildings.
and
Yeah.
And for energy conservation, but we also have to justify the transition to renewables as an ROI somehow. And if we can come up with examples there, I mean, we can certainly say that at the residential level, buying green electricity is competitive now with fossil fuels. If we want to be as bold as to put up a microgrid project, which I know you say where the hell is the space
So-
for windmills and solar cells, but
As just continued suggestions, and I could make, I could find the URLs and send them to the committee, maybe not on the spot. Because we were asking for funding to do a plan, I would hesitate to put up charts that imply that we already know the solution, because I would
Right.
submit
Right.
that we don't
Yeah.
know the solution.
we
Right.
don't
But
know
there
all
are,
the
but there are
solutions.
macro trends, right? So the macro trends are at the national level, the cost of generating electricity through either wind or solar at the utility level is already less expensive than many other traditional forms of generating electricity. So, Board of Commissioners, the macro trends are that renewables are becoming the least expensive way to generate electricity. We don't want to, wait and wake up one day and not how to take advantage of that.
right.
Companies like McKinsey and Bloomberg are saying that by 2024, electric powered cars are going to be less expensive than internal combustion cars. That's before 2035. Never mind our 2050 goal. We would want to arrive at the future prepared and not wake up one day and find out,
Right.
oh my gosh, I woke up on Monday and many of our residents, if not most of them, are driving
Mark,
electric powered cars, and we don't have a plan.
have
This is
class
spot
on
on.
Monday night?
We need the URLs.
I do have
for
class
that.
on Monday night.
They can't
We need the
record it?
URLs for that.
But what's that? Well, I don't know.
I can't record it for you.
They can't
please.
record the class
Couldn't
for
you
you?
do a field trip?
And I'll write you a
I don't
note.
know.
We do have some of those slides though, so we have, like on, 19 I
Well,
think
it
is.
was 19 was the issue.
So the expanding solar and wind energy is affordable, that one with the solar panel prices and the wind cost per kilowatt hour. Those
Yes.
two show them coming down.
But we want to have a comparison slide to fossil fuels. We want to go,
I think I see it, the bar graph.
well, that was
Or-
for just
Yeah.
switching for residents. That was for
It's just switching.
my zip code using the, go down one more.
Well, it's changed because
So
this is the one that I
five-slide
tweaked.
one?
Let me go back to the one that I had Dan. When
Okay.
we only had 5 minutes, then.
Well, yeah, there's two that I know
Then-
of, the
then-
abbreviated and the
Wait
longer
a minute,
one.
then Robin and I met and got it down. What are these fonts?
I don't know.
Did you
I've
build
never
these?
heard of them.
I don't
No,
know.
neither have I.
No, they've been pasted in.
I just keep hitting, okay. All
Yeah,
right, so
right.
this is how you have it.
Yeah, scroll down, keep going down. Keep going, go.
All right, wait a minute, I'm going.
A little further.
Then
No.
this one, this one,
Hmm.
this
further.
one. And I think that needs to be higher. That was part of what Robin and I did with the shorter version.
Sure.
Was to go macro to micro.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's
My concern, and this is from presentations I've made in the past in my line of work, is thinking about what we're trying to sell. We're
Right.
trying to sell someone coming up with a strategic plan for the
Strategic plan.
township. And my concern is that if you start getting into details,
Yeah, like this
you
one.
provide more opportunity for the argument to get shifted into the weeds.
Exactly.
Right.
And
Exactly.
obfuscation, and then
Right.
you're.
Well, let
trying
me
to be-
show
yeah.
you.
So what would you?
No, keep going.
I mean,
No, I want to show you the slide that
I would
we-
suggest.
Go ahead, keep talking.
I would suggest 3 to 5 charts. Your first chart reminds everybody of why we're here. The township, you esteemed Board of Commissioners passed a resolution
Right.
to make us green for 100. And that was, and the macro, and so that's slide 1. And then slide 2 is the macro trends in terms of, the world is trying to find ways to reduce emissions and renewable energy. Cleaner planet and less expensive sources of power. Slide 3, in a particular order, we had a disciplined approach. We identified 4 potential candidates to come up with an energy plan for a township. We happened to down select the least expensive and what we felt is the most qualified. We're here to request budget to enact what you passed as a resolution. And they're going to come up with a plan for, so we can, as a township, can meet our 2035 and 2050 goals. And we look forward to a positive decision.
I so agree with you. I honestly think the slides showing the floods and we've won that.
We know
We've got
that,
the
yeah. Right.
resolution. We
Right.
don't have to inflame the issue anymore.
Right.
Booker is going to be.
Because then you risk, prove that this flood in
Yeah,
2017
right,
was
right.
because
Right.
we buy
Well,
coal
the
from
only
Pico
reason I
or-
pulled the other one up, see the guy that's now in the back, which was all the details, years.
Right,
So we
yeah.
substituted the slide, energy transition plan, which is commit,
make that-
plan, and act.
And let me
Right.
emphasize, I think
That's
a
great.
lot of work went into these slides,
Yes.
and I don't mean to come in,
No,
late
no,
from
I
traffic
hear
and
you.
say,
No, this is
But
the
I think
straw man
they're also-
approach and generate conversation.
They're also useful for other
Yeah.
kinds of
Yes.
things
Yeah.
too.
Right.
The other angle I would play is that all the neighboring townships are doing this.
Right.
Do you
Okay,
want
we have
Radnor to
20
be left
We have
behind?
23.
Right.
Well, we have a
Well,
slide.
what are they? Are
We have a slide
they're in
showing that.
transition. They're not.
No,
they're not.
there are groups,
The next slide down
They're
there.
committed, they've got
They're committed.
resolutions.
Okay.
They
Right.
have resolutions.
We're losing opportunity to leverage our $40,000 investment to collaborate with neighboring townships and draft, when you catch, get pulled along by
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
We're losing the opportunity, or missing the opportunity to leverage investment by neighboring townships and buying power. I remember when we first started meeting here, we talked about how the more people that might leverage onto PPA agreements, you can, better buying power.
I'm
by
gonna
all
put you
means
on the
necessary.
spot. You're speaking a lot of helpful stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna ask you to repeat what you've been talking about for the past 5 minutes. I'm
We
sorry,
should-
Chris.
We should
Okay.
record you.
well, it's
But
being
maybe you
recorded.
can-
Oh, it is being
actually
recorded?
You know.
Yeah, I didn't come equipped with a laptop, but
I don't want to ask you to email it to us because that takes work. If you could just
Well,
repeat
it's
what
work,
you've been
but-
saying for the past 5 minutes.
Well, and it's being recorded also.
Oh, is it being recorded?
Yeah, I find
Okay.
it.
Oh. So you've gotten the last 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
not much. This is a new computer, new system. Made the mistake of
Okay.
upgrading to Catalina. I had to buy Microsoft Office all over again.
Maybe pick up your piano.
what's Catalina?
That's
what
right.
it is.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to bore people, but I can try to restate what I
You're not
said.
boring me.
No, it's somewhere.
I'm sure I had to keep it.
Yeah.
So you first started out,
Do you want to use?
Okay,
But
so
maybe he can just
Do you want to
write it
use the
down.
computer? Do you want to use?
Do you know where full screen is in PowerPoint?
yes,
Yeah.
well,
yeah, go up.
down
to
on the
view.
lower bar.
Yeah.
See the slider bar, the zoom? Go
Yeah,
left,
there we
go
go.
a little left, go a little left of that. You talking presentation mode? Click
Yeah.
that.
There it is.
Please, click that, please.
There it is. Right.
Well,
There it is.
Yeah.
Nope. Wait a minute. Let me go back.
Yeah, that's what
There
we
we
did
are.
before.
So we're in the planning stage. It's much easier than that. thing.
Commit, symbolic statement, clean energy resolution, we did that.
So we're making the plan.
Actually,
I wouldn't have a symbolic statement, I'd just start right there with the clean energy resolution. I'd remove that green box in the upper left
actually, you
to simplify it.
could get away with this chart. And then the
Yeah.
bumper sticker is request Board of Commissioners to approve funding to develop plan. This is a great chart because it talks about everything that clean energy resolution, we did that part.
Plan updates.
Energy transition plan,
Well,
that's what
and
we're
one of
asking
the-
to fund.
And this is what Robin pointed out in a telephone call this afternoon. Ready for 100 is ground up, it's not top down. And so through working with the planner and using their toolbox and our toolbox, what we're really doing is educating the residents as to the possibilities.
What we're doing is, like if you had an energy audit come to your home, right?
Like
They do an infrared picture of your house and they look at your bills and, right, and they bottoms up. This is the energy you're using for today. These are all the things that we see, knobs to turn, double pane windows or more insulation in the attic. And this is your bill today, and this is what your bill could be. What we're asking for is an energy audit at the township level. We're asking someone to come in and x-ray us.
For the
and say-
township level,
I'm
not
sorry,
just
what
the
did I say?
municipality.
Yeah,
You
the
said
town-
the township
the
level.
township level.
But it's more than,
Well, it's everything
The
that's in the
government,
borders, which includes
everything
the
in the
school
borders.
district, which includes the police force, which includes the
the corporations, the commercial, the
absolutely,
institutional.
residents, the tenants.
So if you look at, that's pretty much what I was thinking this afternoon when I put these two
But
slides
it's
together.
more than that, too. It's not just the energy audit, it's
Right.
helping us get the buy-in.
That's
Right.
To
right.
educate and get buy-in
Mhm.
by the stakeholders and the residents.
Yeah, so I had gathered
So-
input from stakeholders.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's-
it could be stronger than that. It's
Right.
not just gathering input.
Well, I would not use the word, everything I say is a suggestion. I would not use the word buy-in because that implies
That you have a plan. and
trying to
you
convince
put
someone
money
to
in.
do,
Yeah.
come to my way. The ideal, the go-forward plan for the township has everyone and all the stakeholders agreeing that they all agree with it. So instead of buy-in,
Right,
it's,
right, let's be
I'm mincing
diplomatic.
words,
I got
but,
it, yes.
that all the stakeholders' voices have been heard and everyone concurs that that they all agree that, we're rowing in the same direction. The plan has to work for everybody and.
Right.
Well, we want to gather
don't wanna
input and action.
Coerce people. We don't
Yes.
imply, right.
You know,
But it has to be actionable, correct?
yeah.
Now, the slide with practical energy solutions, the commissioners have never heard practical
right.
energy, so it would be why have a planner?
Well,
Why
okay.
to engage a planner rather than practical energy solutions?
Well, that was the first
That's
thing.
the
Why do
first slide.
we need help with planning? So
Right.
why do we need a planner?
Right.
But why do we need a planner to figure out drainage solutions around Sapezio
Well,
Gym?
yeah,
Because it's
okay.
complicated.
But-
Because to the
Right.
layperson,
Right.
it's like, well, it's obvious, right? But it's
Take a
not
ditch.
obvious. These are complex problems.
But, so I'm going back to what you were saying is that we don't want to outline, here are the phases of the transition to renewable energy, and it looks like, well, we already know what it all is, so why do we need somebody to help us with it? So that's why I
Well,
was
my
saying, why do
answer
we
to
need a
that,
planner?
rather sarcastic, is,
Well, then we shouldn't appear to be so knowledgeable of our
Well,
phases, which we want to reduce
Which I was
that
saying,
slide.
right?
And this is a great start. I would even simplify this slide even further, actually.
take out the symbolic statement.
Mm.
I
and-
would
Yeah.
take that out, I would
And-
take
and
out
the comp
the
plan. I don't-
central
I don't-
blue part.
Well,
Yeah.
you realize I didn't build this, I snagged it.
Yeah, no,
So
this
I'm
is
gonna have to
great.
build it.
We're not throwing
Right.
rocks, we're just,
It just-
we want how to adapt it for our purpose.
So what is the comp plan? Is that comprehensive plan?
Well,
What does
there,
comp stand
that
for?
is,
Well,
that you could, is an interesting piece because it's time for Radnor to come up with a new comprehensive plan.
Okay.
Bob wanted to work with Haverford Township. One of the commissioners did not, and Haverford Township didn't want to work with us.
Hmm.
Comp plan is, for instance, the township embracing a program that DVRPC, that I've just learned about. I mean, this is, part of the issue is the ball is rolling almost faster than we can
Right.
catch up.
Yeah, yeah.
So DVRPC is, through federal dollars, is developing a program called Soul Smart. And Soul Smart will help multitudes of townships. They will design and townships will buy in, no money spent, just sending someone to training. So all the ordinances will be semi-similar for
Uh-huh.
putting on solar. So you're not fussing with PICO and a township that doesn't want to do it. It'll unify. And the next thing they're going to is community solar. So you won't even have to put it on your roof.
So I think, I don't think we should downplay our knowledge. I think that if anything, we should play up our knowledge and say that, we're a diverse group, we came together, I mean.
But not in the form of a complex slide.
No,
No.
not in the
Yeah.
form of, here's the answer, that we are at the edge of our ability, and we know that we need to get expert help who have expertise in planning and making it happen.
If you took the comp plan updates out, just because that confuses the issue, I mean, that's a
Right.
little bit of, the stakeholder engagement is a piece.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
that should be a box.
And it
Yeah.
should be a big box.
It could be a box, right?
So, okay, so remove, so I'm gonna recreate it, symbolic.
And the commit should be a very simple thing. Give the date that the resolution was approved by BOC.
So that's the commit to the clean
Clean
energy.
Yeah, and if you want to
transition.
quickly
Yeah.
say, 2035.
All right. And the transition
electricity.
plan you want and the comp plan you want to take out
Well,
or translate.
transition, keep the purple, but maybe again simplify that.
Well, you
And-
could just make it bigger, and then all the words wouldn't be squished together so much.
But I'm removing the comp plan
Right.
updates because we don't know what it is.
I mean, what Ruth has here really could go under energy transition plan, for example. Shape a plan specific to Radnor, improve conservation and efficiency, determine baseline
All right.
use. Target areas for improvement, return a high return on investment, easily attainable. Gather input from stakeholders should be maybe a separate box or on the same side as it. And develop informational programs for the community. I mean, that should be in the center, I would think.
Which?
What Ruth has.
Oh, what Ruth
Planning,
has.
right, transition.
in the-
Under
in
It's
the
a
Design.
lot, though, it's a
Slide
lot.
one.
But make stakeholders a big deal.
Right.
Yes.
I would simplify it, I just think it's a lot of words, I think.
So,
Okay.
who owns this file? Is
I
this
do.
accessible electronically?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I'm scribbling like a madman because it was suggested that I do so.
Can you put it into
Are
one
we
of
able
these
to show
computers?
that?
Well, it's not Apple, it's
What program's it in?
a Word.
Well, we've got a little bit of a problem, give it to
Here.
Dan. I don't have USB slots in my new computer, I have to have a dongle that allows me to do it. Apple has changed all their plugs.
There, maybe you can work on that computer.
Plug me into.
This is an age, and
I feel like I wish we had
If you had a what?
a whiteboard so I could.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so Bob has one in his office, but I'm sure it's covered with everything.
So our goal tonight, well, this is a question, is our goal tonight to come out with a slide deck that we all agree is?
No, or is to get the groundwork. Sarah will work, Dan will work. We'll start circulating.
Okay.
And hopefully by Sunday night, it'll be in this finished enough form that we can just wing it, just do it.
Ruth,
Yes.
is that your directory? I don't like the thumb things. I have calluses and it doesn't think I'm alive, so.
Well, that's all right.
That's not very nice on a computer screen.
But Dan, I have lost all the ridges and whorls
From that,
in my fingers, so
you could be a safecracker.
yes, I could. When I did work the census 10 years ago, the FBI had a terrible time trying to get a fingerprint because they're all worn down.
Did you get brought in for an extra questioning?
No, it just took 45 minutes when they scheduled about 5 minutes.
Gee.
So I'll need to unplug you
Are you good for that?
and,
I don't think so.
no, I don't think we have a, wait, what's this?
It's an HMDI. It's very complicated. So this isn't even mine.
Yeah, it's just the other way. There.
So let me ask.
May I?
Yes, sir.
There you
It's all
go.
yours.
Here we go.
So everything.
Wait,
Rock and roll.
Okay, we'll have to save it as a different file, so we don't
Yeah,
erase yours.
just put Rep 1 or whatever.
Save as
Yeah.
D:"Green Team? Is that the
That's-
That's
stick?
That's the,
That's-
yeah,
that's
this is the
Ruth's,
folder on the
That's her
stick.
thumb drive.
Oh, this doesn't have a file in?
Just put a
Put a
2
2
after the
next, yeah,
blue.
Just, yeah.
Oh, that is the,
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
the
file.
total. And then hit save.
Now,
Okay, we go.
All
so
right.
everything about to happen is a suggestion.
that everything is a suggestion.
Like a stop sign.
Well,
Well.
not exactly.
See, this is,
Now we're gonna do public typing, that's my strong suit.
Yes.
Um,
We'll all find out how we type. None of you are old enough to have used an old typewriter that you literally had to hit it one finger at a time.
Oh my
the
God.
mechanical one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was taught to type.
Corona.
But I took typing in school. I'm so grateful I did
Mhm.
in high school.
Well, so did I,
did
on a
too, I
great,
did.
big
I-
typewriter.
Yeah.
I do
But
not.
it's a skill that I learned in high school I continually use. I mean,
Yeah.
there's other things too.
I don't. I didn't have a typewriter in college until my senior year,
Yes.
That was my high school graduation.
and it was an Italian, whatever they were called, typewriter.
I think the generic is municipalities, because either we're boroughs or townships.
It is municipalities.
Yeah.
Alright,
By the way, Lansdowne has passed it. Newtown is taking it up. Media is taking it up. Swarthmore has passed it. Nether Providence is working on it. Can't your work-study project at your master's, because I understand Montgomery County, Ready for 100, as 3 of the students in your group that's their field work.
I don't know, right now I'm just trying to get a B or an A in statistics class this semester, so.
Good luck with that. I can understand understand why you
what
don't want
does-
to.
Go for the B.
Go for the B. B is for
I just
boy.
hoped
Okay, next up, what do we
to
need to do?
It's all about the mean.
with,
Yeah, it is all about the.
That's when I finally understood statistics. Oh,
What?
it's all about the mean.
I didn't have to take statistics.
I took 4 graduate level statistics.
I did take 2 semesters of accounting at Eastern. Oh my God.
Okay. And then just the, this is, it's funny, it's similar but different. It acts a little bit different on each computer.
So Dan, do you think we ought to include one of the heat pumps as to
No.
tools?
It takes too much explanation.
Okay.
I'll have to keep looking at it to understand it.
Just.
As, I know, we should have a lot of, what I prepared could be a lot of backup slides. If somebody's hammering us, for example, on the cost of residential renewable versus fossil fuel, it could show that slide I prepared.
That's why
Phil
we're
should-
hiring the energy planner.
Well, that's true.
Because they have all of that.
Right.
Okay. First slide, why are we here? Second slide. Control C. Control V.
These are professional expertise
Yes.
for a complex issue.
Yes.
Absolutely. You read my paper.
Did I?
Right.
Right. We can format it.
Yeah, I mean, we can,
We can
exactly. So,
format it.
but with me, train of thought is a fragile thing.
I love it.
So I gotta get it in the computer before it goes away.
You sound like me, but you're a lot younger.
I have fewer excuses. That's true.
So Ruth, did you hear that Nancy's already signed up for the focus groups for the
Yeah, you know what,
public health?
I finally got a secretary after being a director of a center for 5 years. So I was talking to her about.
Well, they have to build buildings.
Yeah. So I was talking to her about that.
That'll, like, help,
and
but-
saying, it occurred to me
Consultant.
driving into work this morning, I think Villanova is the
Advisor.
only
Situation.
Uh,
Again, I don't like
education,
this word.
higher education that
Yeah,
has
sure.
a Center for Global and Public Health. So I think our center needs to be involved with that too. Like that, I think better when I drive by myself.
Well, I do it when I'm taking showers.
I'm sure
And,
we keep
should we
pace.
say competitive bid or something about the pricing of it?
Yeah, best qualified help
I mean, that it's really.
at, yeah, I want to capture the thought
Okay.
of price.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Competitive
And then we can argue about what
Yeah.
competitive means. and-
Whatever.
cost.
Can we make instead of help, like expertise or
Yes.
something?
We're not gonna do the,
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't
right now I
use-
just want to capture
He
the
wants to
main,
get his
The idea.
thoughts.
the main
Okay.
flow of thoughts.
Yep.
Well, hours. Then to get off the stage is actually.
Not to distract you, Ruth, but Roberta was grateful that I spoke to you and sent it to you and Nancy.
Claim.
They don't even know how to reach out to people.
Okay. And Nancy,
Healthy.
I don't get any
Healthy,
work done
yeah.
at work. All I have is meetings.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So then I go home and work it. But Nancy,
I would say
I
just say
saw.
healthy.
attractive,
clean.
you know, it's attractive, we wanna make sure
She sent it
they
out.
understand it,
So
real estate
that-
values, maybe.
Hopefully
Well,
someone
so
will-
what
And I
my
wonder if it
intent
should
with the
go
word
to
competitive,
bees.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They start
okay.
nurses.
Let's
school.
say
I'm trying
that,
to think, were they
um,
starting a public health program?
Let's say that in 20 years' time, businesses that rent in Radnor pay X amount for their electricity bill when they rent an office space.
Mm.
And let's say at that future time, Radnor is not participating in a solar PPA. And let's say at that point in time, 2030, all the surrounding townships
Are.
are
Mm.
participating in a PPA with their electricity is solar and is significantly cheaper. You are
Right.
not making Radnor a competitive place to do
Right.
work because
Right.
Right.
you are incurring costs from the 20th century
Right.
to power business, and our competitors who would love to have their office parks full.
And
Um,
here's some figures I don't want you to necessarily use.
Wait, let's,
Well,
how about
so-
remains a healthy and desirable place to work and live?
Yeah, work.
Yeah.
You'd still like to
Oh.
keep competitive?
So I think we're.
I'm thinking of the people whose vote we need,
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
not the
that's-
people who already agree this is a
But
good
I think
idea.
Right,
we're,
so-
I think we're mixing two concepts. So we're mixing the business, which I think is good,
with the health aspects.
with the public, just the regular people. So I think the business aspect is really important, because one of the things that came out in the budget meeting last night was that the revenue from business tax is decreasing in Radnor Township. So if this helps to attract business.
Do we know what the root cause of that is? Well, so I think.
it's
Yeah,
tax
we do.
laws.
It's tax laws, it's the mix of
I would just say-
businesses,
What if you
and
said
it's
a-
the internet.
An attractive,
lost
remains an
life.
attractive and
You're
competitive
gonna
place
get
to
paid.
live
I
and
like
work.
that. I
And
like
they're
that.
going to pay
Keep it
taxes.
simple.
Fewer words is better.
And all those doctors who make their salary in Radnor are gonna pay whatever it's called.
The
Attractive. So
Any
attractive place to
doctor
live
who works for
And
Penn
work.
and a
And is out
competitive place
here
to
and
Yeah, we
everything.
have
do
to, I pay
business.
tax,
Yeah.
I pay a tax up
Yeah.
here as well,
Yeah.
working
I
rent.
can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Except that Bill and I used to extract $6 a year from me for his tax. You're not supposed to pay it till you earn
Why are we
12,000.
here?
I wouldn't
So I
say
would
to
earn
work though, I would say to
$600.
Why
just
do we need
business.
help with planning? Can we, why practical energy solutions? And then why do we ask him to do? Make the budget
Mhm.
now to put us on a Okay, so the thought is we remind them why we're here.
Right?
We're asking for funding for professional help. Why do we need help with planning?
Right.
Why do we pick who we picked to do the planning? And then what are we asking them to do? Now, this is a proposed skeleton. We could easily put clip art in here to the side, for example,
Right.
you know, falling cost over the decades of renewable energy.
Right.
So we could put a, you know,
I would even, I wouldn't even distract them with that, have a button to pull it up immediately if somebody is, well,
No, but
But
we're
some
gonna
people
be
do
showing
better
it
with
today.
visuals, too.
Just, yeah.
okay.
So-
Again, I want to,
So Mark,
yes.
there's a firm in Radnor. His name is Applied Energy Solutions, who proposes with community solar, they will guarantee no more than 4 cents per kilowatt hour for
Mhm.
20 years. Whereas by that time, they project PECO will be charging 14 cents per kilowatt hour. So
Yeah, so, I mean, whatever.
It has absolutely practical,
Absolutely.
projectable, because you can only project. I think this is really good because
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
kind of thing that
So,
is gonna.
Mark,
Right.
under the gather,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll be right with you.
Because okay, so this is, the trends are already happening
Yeah.
to support transition,
Right.
just from an economic point of view.
Renewable.
And I actually, after sitting in that meeting, I said, I think that the economic point of view is what
No
really
internet.
should be
Yes.
So I
strong.
was
yeah.
Def.
not connected.
Oh, yeah,
Radnor Public.
but you have to. So secure.
So you have to scroll down and do Excel.
Well, we have a representative.
I'm being really
Practical energy.
free with your computer.
We
That's
can't
all right. I
have
was
them
already
here
on
Till we
everybody's
hire-
meeting.
Till we hire them.
I did send her
Just
the
thinking.
flyer for the first meeting to show her what we were doing for public education. Without getting
Sweet,
too close.
sweet.
I don't want residential and commercial.
And brown.
Yeah, your taxpayer dollars at work. Solar, I thought there was. I'm sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole while you guys are all.
No,
No.
this is,
You're allowed to go down a rabbit hole.
yeah, because I didn't even know it existed, so.
So let me see. I'm trying to. I know I want to find, but I want to find something that shows not just solar by itself, and not just
Mhm.
wind by itself.
Right, you want to
And
compare.
I know I've seen these charts, and
Do you think it's in this site?
Mark, I can go through 600 Al Gore slides and find the same thing. It's just gonna take me a little while to dig back through this. But if you can't find it, you want me to find it, I will commit to.
the pain for me is I know that where they are on the laptop at home, but I feel like we're all here now
Right.
collaborating on
But
this
you can
deck.
send it,
So
I mean, you
But
can
I
look
can-
at it, yeah.
Yes.
And
Okay.
Sarah, your a little
I got the placeholder.
anecdote about the local energy people projecting is a good one. You know, projecting what are the costs going to be.
Mhm.
in
So I'm gonna
September.
look up.
I think that's
Yes.
it's a
The-
good one, not for the presentation, but
No.
just as a citizen who is
I
informed.
think they called it
We
slide.
could do this entirely from an economic point of view. Don't even
Yeah.
And I
talk
think
about-
that's what we should do.
Yeah,
Don't even
I do
talk
too.
about greenhouse gases.
And floods.
Yeah.
Right,
No.
I totally agree.
They don't want to
Yeah.
hear that.
No,
They don't want a bunch of tree hugger talking.
no.
The
No,
people,
they-
and
Pure, now,
Yeah.
could you put in here, I'm just talking, our first low-lying fruit is efficiency and conservation. So we already know, we can already guesstimate that if the investment is made just on this building, the payback will be 2 years to make it more efficient. And then it's 30% reduction estimated from 2 years from now into the future. I don't know whether you put that in
Yeah,
So we
or
have-
not,
well,
Well,
I would vote not.
all right?
And just be prepared to that with
it could be
supporting.
a backup
I
slide.
it's a
Because,
support, yeah.
because once you start staking out a specific thing, like, well, then why do we need to hire a planner?
Exactly.
Right.
You've
Okay,
already,
right.
you've-
Exactly.
you've already
Yeah.
done it.
Good.
Right.
But we haven't, but,
Yeah.
So, Mark, for the, for the gather input from key stakeholders, could we say facilitate engagement of key stakeholders? Like that better?
I'm sorry,
Facilitate
Yeah,
engagement.
engagement, I like that.
where do we want that?
Okay.
I
In the,
apologize.
no,
No,
that
I
was
think
way
that
before
was,
that.
it was that in.
Why do we need help?
Instead of
with
gather
writing?
input from key stakeholders.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Facilitate
Facilitate
engagement.
engagement of key stakeholders.
That's good.
because then either they're listening to you or they're reading the slide or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Best qualified expertise.
So this is
Yeah,
different.
I don't think,
Style.
how else will do we need to sell them on Practical Energy Solutions? Is that why?
I think,
And can we make it most qualified, or do you want to say best?
Yeah, I think
well,
most
then
qualified.
you're gonna have,
Oh, okay, I
Right.
gotcha.
there's a
gotcha.
bunch of,
No, I know, I sit in
then
the
you get into, well, how do you know they're the best
I
qualified?
know, no, I sit in
Got it.
2 hours worth of meetings for one word, yeah.
Well, no, I have experienced the uncomfortable position of being in the front of the room and being picked apart, so,
But,
you know,
but
stick,
do we
know
need
what you
Yeah.
wanna do.
Yep.
just do we need that all those words in the why practical energy? I mean, we have evaluated them. We have done a disciplined approach.
I think this doesn't
And just-
hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the quick
Yes.
elevator speech message.
It's
Right.
just a
in the
lot,
whole-
you know, it's a lot
It
to
is.
take in.
But
They
I
may
like
only
that
look at
competitive cost per
selected best
Radnor.
qualified expertise.
Well, for example, you could remove evaluated over, just say 70 buildings in Delaware County, 38 municipal buildings, Chester County.
And you're not gonna read this. I
So,
think that you're
remove
gonna
the
stand up there and
verbs.
you say, we had a very, if you wanna go there.
We had
We had a
13
very,
firms
we had a very
interested.
energetic bidders conference. We had
Yeah.
13 firms. Of those, 4 chose to bid. And then we were able to down select to one. As it turns out, they are the most competitively priced. And also, we feel that they bring expertise that is most tailored to Radnor's
Right.
situation as a southeastern Pennsylvania municipality with all the specific governance challenges that brings.
Right. Staff qualifications.
Yeah, that was where I kind of got
Okay.
hung up, because I didn't know, I had their proposal and I was looking at their,
Best
their resumes.
qualified to
Or-
address Radnor's culture, or is that
Yeah,
too
yeah.
insulting?
No, I think experience at municipal level.
How about familiar,
Right. Yes,
familiarity
Yes.
with?
Yeah, and then it's a local
local
firm.
PA municipalities
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
local.
PA municipal planning unique.
With unique, yes, in Radnor.
Do we want to say unique? Because then they're saying what?
see, I think that is a summary of all the things that were in the experience thing.
Right.
Well, this is
Well, put that up at the top then.
this is what they've done,
Right,
which were all highlights from our RFP.
right.
So
Right.
that's what did you do, and then we asked
Why-
for what's your approach and what are your qualifications, and their qualifications, I think that this committee felt is why they edged out the others, is that they didn't do something for Pittsburgh or for
Right.
Washington D.C. or Boston. They understand the unique landscape of doing
So,
these things here.
Mark, I would take the highlighted bullet and put it where experience is.
Okay, and then
Take
just
the
take
yeah.
experience out.
Yeah, and just put the highlighted bullet where experience
Yeah.
is. And then, what do you mean? Okay, don't even make it a bullet. Just remove the bullet for that first line.
Okay.
And then remove evaluated.
No, I like keeping the evaluation.
Well, I'm just trying to simplify the bullet. Okay. Okay.
Assess, would assess be that, or would you got evaluated twice here?
And
Evaluated
it's
for
twice,
what? I
but-
mean,
If they're working on their grammar, then we're
yeah.
in a dark place.
So your style, Mark, of having the highlighted box at the bottom is kind of a conclusion slide.
It's the what do you
Nugget.
want to remember from each slide?
It's the nugget.
It's the nugget. So and the ideal, if you only had those whatever,
good.
those banners, that should tell a story.
Good.
And they're all at the bottom, and they're all the same font, and they're all the same background color.
Well, and about the background color, aren't Radnor's colors maroon or
Maroon.
Yeah,
red?
I should know that as a Radnor High.
So we don't want a green
parent.
background.
Do we want to just,
That's-
show our
that's fine.
Radnor pride?
Well, what
I'm not
does it
opposed
look
to
like
that.
if you did it?
I love blue, but I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah, I like blue and white too. There's a reason for that. Let me see. Why can't I find format?
Design,
Oh, there you go.
background.
No, not full. Full shape fill.
No, let's see.
Ooh, there.
Yeah. Okay, maybe
Uh,
Design, go to
Maroon,
design.
right?
yeah, that looks like
Yeah.
it might be a good
We
one.
want some. I should know maroon. Maroon is between what, red and
Red and
Like a little bit of a
That's
brownish
purple.
purple.
There, that's starting with that there. Well, anyway, we can take that as a
Yeah,
note.
just see what it looks like, just so that, when you're playing
the
with it.
theme.
Yes,
Okay.
Radnor pride.
Yes.
Now, the first bullet, rapid global changes in renewable energy technology and economics. You don't want to say anything about addressing climate change.
No, I wouldn't.
No, we're here to save money for the township.
That's right.
Okay,
And if they're dumb enough not to know it's climate change, that
okay,
prevents
All
the
right.
deniers. No, that just prevents any denier.
right.
Michael Mann says they're the people you.
So I saw
Don't spend a lot of it.
I saw a great Far Side cartoon once. It's cartoon style. It was a bunch of people at a conference, and there was someone presenting at the bottom. It was something like, how does it go? Something like, if let's say we're wrong about climate change, but we make the world a cleaner, better place.
For nothing.
You know,
Right.
for nothing. Or it was something like climate change is wrong, and we made the world better and cleaner for nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, the reason people are investing in renewables, yes, it'll help climate change. And by the way, would you rather get cheaper electricity?
Right.
And that's what's going to sell the project.
That's what's going to
It's
sell.
when the costs
We're asking them for
go
money,
down.
and why are we asking them for money? So that you can save money in the long term and keep Radnor as a competitive, desirable place to live compared to its neighbors. Because by the way, your neighbors are all moving out. All the neighboring townships are doing this.
Yep.
And when people start searching on Realtor.com in 15 years, and they're looking which communities are most friendly to electric vehicles, et cetera,
Solar
et cetera.
panels and blah, blah, blah.
Mark, what if under next step, just bulletize the 2035 and 2050 goals? Just as a sub-bullet under Radnor passes at RF.
I have a personal thing with too many sub-bullets, but I
Or
agree.
there's
I
just
agree
one.
in
That
calling
must
attention
be
to
underlines.
them. I agree that we should
Bolds.
draw attention to them because those are the key.
Okay,
things.
again, we're assuming everybody knows
Well,
what
the
they
presenter can add
And we
that.
can take out by when. What does
Yeah.
Radnor need to do to achieve its
Right.
2030 renewable? Yes, so
Yes.
take out by
I can
when.
spell. This is the bad part.
Well,
Energy.
Okay, energy goals.
Great.
Right, let's see, what do we need to do? Do we need by when in there?
No.
No, because you've got
Dates.
2035 and 2050.
And then you don't need that comment.
There you go. See, that's more space.
Yep, okay.
Save early,
Yeah.
save often.
Yes.
Cost means solar results. Yeah, swell, this is great. Make bumper sticker.
That's a note to self.
Yeah, that could be a wonderful bumper sticker. Everybody get ensure Radnor keeps pace with the changing world.
Oh, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Please, okay. What did you just say? I don't want to lose that.
Just make that into a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Ensure Radnor keeps pace with the changing world.
Your
Although
new,
they-
Oh, a literal
your
bumper
new
sticker.
business.
Yeah, yeah.
Your new business.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Ready for 100.
What was it, Ruth? Make?
Ensure Radnor keeps pace with the changing world. Make it a bumper sticker.
But we'd need ready for 100 on there.
Oh, there's the color. Yeah, we do need ready for that.
Yeah.
I think it must be a GIF or something. Let me see.
Get it off the website.
Well, that's what he was
It
just
is.
doing.
No, the township website.
These special. Yeah, it's coming in.
Can you-
I'm looking for. Let me see if this will work. I don't know if this will work.
Photo screen and then crop it.
Yeah, well, it can't eye drop outside. Okay, again, that's on my own time. Or somebody, get all this hype. Okay. Why are we here? Why do we need professional? And I'm not going to put it on the chart, but again, I wouldn't mention Garrett Hill specifically, but you could say
Right.
there's lots of experience with projects within the township where we don't have to be convinced to hire qualified expertise to do planning for an engineering project. In the committee, to the committee, this is no different, right? You hire expertise to come up with an engineering plan, and not try to do it, anyway, not as a hobby. You get the professionals in.
Mhm.
And the other thing to say is it is a complex, multi-decade thing.
Uh-huh.
Folks have no problem with hiring people to do their taxes for a year, right, instead of doing it themselves. If you've got a complex situation, you hire a professional. And again, some of these metaphors are probably too cheesy for the room downstairs. But why them? Because we had a process, a funnel of people that applied. Four did a proposal. We picked the best one for Radnor, and by the way, at a competitive price. So what are we asking you to do? The township has already committed that this is something that we wanted to sign a resolution for. We all voted that it's important. We have identified a professional to consult with us and develop a plan to get us to the future we say we want. And so we're asking that we approve this money and put it into the budget so we can start moving forward.
Yeah, because
So-
without that, it just becomes a feel-good, do-nothing resolution.
Or worse, it gets
So-
rescinded.
So what are we, you have the BOC in the wrong place. What are we asking BOC to do?
See, public typing.
It's all right.
Asking the BOC.
We have to do this.
Well, this is really good group process.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the way to make progress,
It's the
is in
only
the
way to
room,
do
real
it.
time,
Yeah.
It gets tough with it by email because we're all
Oh.
Yeah.
get distracted.
Can we go through them again?
We sure can. Oh, there we go.
My
That was,
daughter,
yeah.
grandson, and son-in-law, somewhere in Utah.
Do we need a first just
Oh, I think we
ready
have
for
to show the
100?
Ready for
Okay,
100.
Okay,
The original
yeah.
country banner.
The very first slide in
Yeah.
the.
Which I can't show you anymore because
Right.
I have.
that one.
Yeah, I have it in,
Yeah.
on my jump drive.
You won't be asking a question either, it's just the banner.
Right.
You won't say what is. Yep. Right, good. And again, that you're suggesting where the background be Radnor red?
I think what I was
I think
thinking
it's-
is that the background of these
The
borders,
Oh.
instead of being
That- those
blue with
guys.
white text, they be maroon with white text.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the major background will
It's
stay
white.
white.
Yeah.
Okay, be stark.
We want the best contrast because we're gonna go through them fairly easily.
And I was taught the same thing, a minute a slide. So if we have 5 minutes, then we've got. Okay. So go through.
Let's go back. Why not stress economics even more in that first slide? Rapid global changes in the economics of renewable energy, period.
I apologize. think I'm having a mental block. To me, I think it says that. Yeah.
And I think, I think it says the two things. We are seeing rapid changes in renewable energy technology, and it will continue.
Right.
And so I think
Okay.
that's fine, and their
Alright.
economics, or maybe their cost.
I'm okay with doing that, taking their economics, because kind of in a way they're intertwined, right? So,
Well,
but I
okay.
agree, it makes the point
Okay.
stronger.
Okay.
So continued rapid global
In the economics
changes,
of renewable
continuing, I
Rapid
don't,
change in renewable.
Yeah, because every couple months I see a new headline about a new big, huge solar project, like in Saudi Arabia or wherever.
Right.
The dollars per kilowatt hour just keeps.
Well, and where
going
India is
down.
not building 46 new coal plants
Right.
because they're building enormous solar fields.
I know, it's wonderful. The more electric cars are coming in.
Do you want to add Radnor passes? And I would make it ready, small f, 100, and then put in parentheses the date, 2/25/19, just to remind them.
that can be added with, just by the presenter.
Well,
Or you want it in there, okay,
I think it
okay.
reinforces that they've,
And I'm sorry, R and then little
it's
f.
a little f, yeah.
Okay.
And that should be. We can have lots of fun discussions about colors and fonts.
Can we simplify and take out southeastern Pennsylvania? Just say neighboring municipalities?
No, because Bucks County hasn't done anything. I think it should be southeast Pennsylvania. We're now the biggest
Okay.
concentration in the country.
How about this?
Are we
Take-
really?
Yeah, with 23 municipalities. And
That's amazing for Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I want to say it's a positive thing. Sometimes reacting implies
Right.
you're being passive.
Yes,
Or,
yes. Yep.
Ready when you are.
Okay, swell. What do we have, delete the first question. The previous slide had the question, what do we have to do to achieve these goals?
why are we here?
Here.
Why we're here.
What does that have to do to achieve these goals? And then we're jumping ahead and saying,
Yeah,
Okay.
Why are we here? I agree. You think this and this kind of fight each other?
No, because we're here to get funding for the next
Yeah.
steps.
I like the call and response. Like, why are we here to do this?
Right.
Why do we need to help with planning? Because we need professional
right, we
Yes.
didn't introduce
Why
planning.
them? Because they're the best qualified.
But
What
we
are we
didn't
asking you to
introduce-
do to
We
invest?
didn't introduce planning on the first slide. So maybe make not a question, but
Well, I'm tracking. I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I-
make a statement there instead.
Well,
What do we need to do? We need a plan.
Yeah.
maybe that goes after the next step. Maybe that should be.
We need. What do we need to do? We need a plan.
Um,
And why do we need help with plan? Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that
And
was-
now I think it flows.
Right.
I agree.
That's not what I wanted.
And you want it in blue.
Well, I
Okay.
don't know. I think arguably it's one of the most important things on that page.
Right.
And I just use color to make it stand out, but it doesn't have to be blue, and it can,
Well, maybe
this
the,
is all clay, we can make it whatever.
Yeah,
we
maybe
want.
the what does Radnor need to achieve, that sentence doesn't need to be blue, and the next one really will show up then.
Right. Now, why are you making we need a plan a major bullet?
'Cause that's why
Because
we're here.
that's
We're
why we're
asking
here.
for the
Okay,
plan.
But, okay, it says next step. Okay, so you're resolving that question with the next bullet. Okay, all right.
like that you say very frequently. That's one of the things I don't do.
Mark, go back,
I've had bad-
go back a
bad
slide
habits.
for a second, would you?
Absolutely.
How about changing the font to match the font of Why Are We Here? It's just changing the font.
Calibri lights.
For all of it?
No, just the Why Are We Here, the We Need a Plan matches the
Oh,
font
gotcha.
as to why we are
Oh,
here.
that's italics.
Yeah, I mean,
It is the same as Calibri, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yes.
one's in italics and one is not.
Oh, I see.
To
Like-
emphasize
like
that
that?
they marry.
Ah.
You can do that, yes.
Okay, there you go.
So that your headers are in italics.
yeah. So let me see if this has this. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that seems friendlier. I don't know.
We want to make friends with the people who are asking for money.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these guys know Practical Energy Solutions?
No, they don't.
Um,
They don't.
oh, well then,
Because there's never been a resolution, so they don't know who we've chosen, why we chose them, or who they are.
okay, so
We can't do that till they fund the money.
right. I'm just saying, we can't have a question about PES then, because it's assumed that they
Or
already
why
know.
have we chosen one particular
Right.
planner?
Oh,
Because they have.
Why did we choose, or?
Or select.
Well, no, that, yeah,
Our choice of an energy planner. I don't know.
Right.
Just throwing out.
So that
Right.
can't be revealed until their money is there.
Oh.
They can't
okay.
sign a
Oh, that
contract
makes
till
sense.
the
So-
money comes.
Oh.
So the other
just
firms,
look at it. I think
they're
shows-
still sitting waiting to hear.
Still waiting.
Gotcha.
okay, so you think it's okay to bring up their name here for the first time?
Well, are you gonna know, unless you knew Practical Energy Solutions,
Right.
would you know that was the name of the firm?
No, but you're
Well-
gonna introduce them with this slide to our choice.
No, we're not gonna say that's the name of the firm.
Yeah, but then it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Well, then
So
wait,
then-
should we not have that slide then?
No,
Oh,
I
we
think
need
you
it.
need,
Why did we?
why, something about
select an
our
energy firm?
selection for an energy planner
Yeah,
has
okay.
done that.
Right.
Are we saying everything should be there except the name of the firm?
Correct.
It should, that sentence, why a Practical Energy Solution should be something like,
Why our
Our
selection
reasons
or
for
why?
our,
I like the why, right? We did
So
the
do I.
why.
Yeah,
why.
I like the why.
Why,
why did we
Why
pick?
this energy planner?
Why did we pick the?
Why
Wait,
is this the
uh,
right firm or
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yes. Why is this the firm to do the job? Why,
Right.
yes. Why is this selected from the right choice
For Radnor.
for Radnor?
I'm gonna, then
Just
we,
make
yeah,
it
then we
yours.
start
Yeah.
running.
Sorry, no.
But this is punchy, and then,
Yeah.
and then we have the for Radnor at the bottom.
Right.
Okay.
Did they do anything about public communication or education? Public
Well,
education?
it's gonna be because the extra cost is maximal
Oh, I
civic
know.
engagement.
I know, I just don't recall them doing public education.
Yeah, we did. That was
We
one
added.
of
That was one of our
we went
add-ons.
back and asked
Right,
them to
but
do.
from their experience though.
I thought they had a
Yes.
significant package that they included the proposals.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
wait,
my
wait, that
memory.
whole document.
was
they
them,
had.
right.
I think we
Yeah.
should add something to that effect. About outreach, public, because it ties into stakeholder engagement as well.
Where did that go? Did we have a statement on it? Oh, we have it here.
Right. Can we say something to prepare a statewide or
Area-wide.
well, it was a state, it was that DVRPC thing.
But that's That's not state, that's Delaware Valley.
Okay, then created
Is it a
a
band?
guide for,
For maximal civic engagement.
guide for, what was it? I'm forgetting what it was. There's energy conservation. And
Gosh,
It's
civic
getting late.
it is been a long
engagement.
Spell check will fix it. Spell check.
Spell check.
day. Spell check works well in Word, but not. It's a
Right.
That's why I do it in Word first and then put it in PowerPoint.
That's.
Because I know all the
Yeah.
typos are done.
But, okay, someone's gonna have to explain what civic engagement is then.
I hope to God they know it.
Yeah, I think
Okay, I think they will.
I hope so.
Yep.
Yes, because that's what they're doing actually as commissioners.
Yeah, right.
Supposed to.
Good, there we go.
Yeah.
Excellent. It was both private and.
Hit save.
Well, yeah, I've been doing that compulsively.
Good.
It's really ticking me off.
I didn't do that once with the take-home exam, and I gotta go through
Those
courses
trials.
and lost it.
Mm.
It was not better.
Pull up the Radnor Township website. You're just looking for the shield?
No, I'm chasing another windmill right now.
Oh, okay, the,
Ah,
That's a
yes,
good one.
there it is.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, down here on the left.
There,
lower
yeah,
left.
there it is.
Up there.
Yeah.
that one?
Yes.
2017, that's reasonable.
Well, that's
Solar,
gonna be as
wind.
far as you're gonna get,
So this
Right.
is solar
Mm-hmm.
right?
and.
This is
nuclear.
wind.
It's the right, not,
Yes,
no,
this-
that's nuclear. Right?
Nuclear, yeah.
Yep.
And then blue is coal.
Coal
Solar and
and
wind.
gas is
Yep.
still higher than green and blue.
All right.
Delete.
Now, guys, are we gonna get, excellent, excellent. We're not gonna get blindsided by somebody saying, well, in Pennsylvania, however, the costs of fossil fuels are gonna remain competitive.
Well, we don't know that,
We don't know
actually.
that.
Well, I'm just.
Oh, Solar Central, I don't like that. See, someone could pull
Right,
coals.
right.
Yeah.
I want,
From,
I want from like a
the
neutral.
Department of Energy has them.
Coal.
The Department of Energy has these squares
Mhm.
too.
That's
That's too complicated.
Yeah, that's not.
Simple. You don't want gas as the new future.
Right.
I can picture it. Okay. All right, I won't torture you. Probably when I get home, I'll find it.
Okay,
They
but
do.
that's basically the message.
So it's 8:00. Will you, so Ruth is gonna send it to you,
Okay.
because it's on,
It's
no,
right
Dan-
on
it's
there.
It's on Ruth's zip drive and Dan's computer,
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna disengage it.
and somebody do it, and I will put some thoughts together, just thoughts. The verbal piece that goes between the slides.
Like in the notes page?
Yeah. And then whoever wants to do
Who's
this,
gonna deliver it?
well,
Mark.
that's the next question. He's got class.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to, but it's
Maybe
Yeah.
Robin.
You can't.
it's hard for me to be into, yeah, anyway.
Unfortunately, I can't be there. I have another commitment.
So is it, I thought it was on the agenda last night.
Yeah.
Well,
Do we really think it's on the agenda next Monday? I'm not putting it on the
No.
spot, as best as we know at this time.
Bob said yes, turned to Jennifer, and Jennifer replied, it's on the agenda.
Okay.
We have some fans in management.
So it isn't a Board of Commissioners
Are we
meeting
still-
though?
Yes,
recording.
it's a special,
Oh, it's a special, okay.
it's a